What's up, guys? This is the Resident Evil 5 review for the PlayStation 4. I wanted to do things a little differently. I normally write out a review and just read you my written review, but I figured it'd just be a lot easier to tell you what exactly is different about Resident Evil 5 on the PlayStation 4. I want to start things off with saying that I originally actually really enjoyed Resident Evil 5 on PS3 and Xbox 360. There was a lot of hate considering it was a huge departure from the horror of the Resident Evil series. Lots of hate toward it, but it also Resident Evil has always had its very dedicated fan base, and I was a part of that fan base when it came to this game. Still am, in fact, a dedicated Resident Evil fan. So with Resident Evil 5 on PS4, when you jump in, you'll notice that the game ultimately doesn't look that much different from the last gen version. The textures, something about the up-res to 1080p 60 frames per second, the textures are more noticeably, how can I put this, blurry in some spots, which is a common case whenever games are remastered at a higher resolution. The same thing happened with Resident Evil 4 when it came to the PS3 last gen. The game just looked worse than the GameCube version, it's weird, but you're getting a more clear screen for dumbed down looking textures. Now when it comes to the gameplay, you are getting the same experience, which consists of shooting a lot of crazy people in the face and killing a lot of giant monsters. A lot of people always forget that the game actually implements a lot of action third-person mechanics, like cover-based shooting and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I personally was hoping that they would add the ability to sidestep or slowly walk while you aim. Resident Evil 5 had a bunch of criticisms toward it whenever it released because of the fact that you couldn't move while you were aiming. I think it's not that bad, but I personally would have enjoyed being able to slowly walk while I aim, kind of like how Resident Evil 6 was put together. One thing that is great about this new version on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One is it comes with all the DLC. So you're getting the more spooky mansion DLC, I can't remember the name of it at the moment. So you're getting the more action-packed Sheva side mission. I personally think that you should play the mansion segment, or the mansion side mission, before the main campaign, just because it sets up the story a lot better. Whenever you're first dropped into the story, he has flashbacks of Jill dying, which doesn't make sense out of context, because in no previous Resident Evil game did you see Jill die. So I thought that was a little weird, but I think it's cool being able to watch the whole story unfold by playing the mansion DLC beforehand. So yeah, highly recommended you do that. When it comes to playing co-op with a buddy, it's still the same experience, still a lot of fun. I always tell myself I hope the next Resident Evil game is single player, but every time it's co-op I end up playing it in co-op anyway, so I think this game is a lot better when you're playing with a friend. It would be nice to play with a friend who hasn't actually experienced it before, which is a great way to see through the lens of how this game would hold up today and in today's standards. At the end of the day, I recommend this game if you were a fan of the original, and if you have not played the original, I think it's worth giving a try. It's definitely not like the classic Resident Evil games you might expect. There is nothing scary about this game outside of maybe some suspenseful action moments, but aside from that, no spookies, no zombies. So if that's your thing, stay away from Resident Evil 5. If you enjoyed the original and you haven't played it in a while, I recommend it. It's a nice throwback. It was nice to play through it again. The visuals, they're more smoother. They don't necessarily look that much better. But then again, I haven't gone back and played the original, so maybe they do look better and it's just not as noticeable. You can tell me in the comments. Let me know what you think of Resident Evil 5 on PS4 if you have played it, or Xbox One. If you haven't seen our Resident Evil 6 review on PS4, be sure to check that out. And if you are looking forward to our Resident Evil 4 review this summer, be sure to subscribe. I am Medlock. Thanks, and I will talk to you guys later.